Welcome to Dead Synchronicity. Tomorrow comes today. Today's gameplay video is an indie adventure game on Steam, and the Steam page says a dying reality, a universe that is fading away, a merciless world that gets sick and vanishes. No past, no present, no future, only the impending moment of dead synchronicity ahead. Will you be able to stop it? Because otherwise, what will you do when time dissolves itself? This game was a Kickstarter, and I was actually a part of the Kickstarter and followed the development quite closely. And I like the developers, but I tried to stay away from all spoilers because I wanted to come into this game clean and without any precognition or any notion of what the story is about, so I could play this game as it is and get the full experience. So let's start. Ooh. Beach. That's a good start. Ooh, static. Ooh. Disorienting. So many pictures. Time. Okay. 5:08. That has any significance. Okay. Some bombs. Desecrated buildings.
I don't know. It's too soon to say. We should let him rest.
Okay. Camps.
He's been very feeble for weeks. He can't get up. He doesn't speak. Do you think we should call a doctor?
Call a doctor? Here?
You're right. Let's just hope he wakes up one of these days.
People in camps, barbed wire, dead bodies, and soldiers.
Come on, my friend. Hang on. Don't give up.
So this is a game after some disaster, or after people are put into camps, perhaps, or maybe they are just
wake up, Michael. Come on.
Moved
You have to
in
wake
some
up.
large wave of flight, perhaps. So people are fleeing, people are dying, or people are put into camps. Okay, who are you? Who's there? Where are you? Where are you hiding? What's happening? What is this place? Please tell me. So I think this option is the most reasonable.
What's happening? What is this place? Please, tell me.
Please, Michael, wake up. Wake up.
This silence. This darkness. Where am I? Damn it. I can't remember.
Okay. Seems that we perhaps need to choose all of these.
Where are you? Where are you hiding?
Michael, please wake up. You have to wake up.
Michael? Is that my name? Please tell me where I am. I can't remember anything.
Yeah.
Who are you? Who's there?
Wake up, Michael. Please wake up. Wake up now.
Don't go! Please! Come back! Come back! This silence. This darkness. This emptiness.
Whoa. Okay. It's dark. It's almost like you think the game is bugged because you can't see anything, but I think this is intentional because I see that I have an oil lamp here and then I have a large screen of nothing. So let's try this lamp. A camp full of rats.
Good morning. I hope you're feeling better.
But...
Now don't be alarmed. I'm glad you feel strong enough to get out of bed. That's wonderful news. I must say you're looking much better, considering what you've been through, of course.
What have I been through?
Ah, yes, of course. Forgive my manners. You've been with us for so long that I forgot that you don't know who we are. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Rod Atkinson. I'm...
That name
I
seems...
was the director of the Municipal
very...
Property Registry before, well, you know,
familiar?
before the world collapsed on us.
Atkinson.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Atkinson. But...
Can you tell me what I'm doing here? Where am I? What is this place? Can you tell me?
Can you tell me what I'm doing here?
Yes, of course. I think we owe you an explanation. A few days after the Great Wave, we found you lying in a ditch near the airport. You were badly injured and unconscious. We couldn't just leave you there. Someone had already stolen your luggage and identification. It was awful. So we decided to take care of you ourselves and brought you here. You've been with us ever since. By the way, I should tell you that when we found you, your clothes were ripped to shreds, so we threw them away. The clothes you're wearing now are mine. You'll find more things in that wardrobe. If you need anything, just help yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Atkinson. But...
So that's very convenient. No clothes, no things, so he has no point to go back through and actually find out who he is, where he came from, or anything like that. Nothing tangible if he doesn't have his memories and no stuff. So that's interesting. See here, the Great Wave. What are you talking about? You said with us. Who else lives here? From what you told me, I see that you saved my life. I'm grateful, Mr. Atkinson. So wake up at an airport with ripped clothes. Perhaps I was in danger. We don't really know. Great Wave. Don't know what that is, and I don't know who lives here, so I think it's more interesting to know about this wave.
The Great Wave? What are you talking about?
Well, what would I be talking about? That damned, excuse my language, explosion that brought ruin to all of us. The origin of this filthy new world that now seems to be our permanent reality. You look a little confused, if you don't mind my saying so. Do you really not know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. I'm afraid not. Let me ask you.
Well, it's not new that you don't remember things, but I think it's quite a good start of a game. See here. Well, next.
You said
most logical.
with us. Who else lives here?
Ah, yes, of course. I still haven't properly introduced my family to you. Now is a bad time, but I promise to make proper introductions later. My wife and I sleep in the other room, and, well, little Colin sleeps with us.
Colin?
Yes, Colin is our only child. Our one ray of hope since the catastrophe. I'm going to confess something to you. Colin is the only reason my wife and I still struggle to keep going in this new world. We would have given up a long time ago.
So a small family.
Of course. I
Keep
understand.
barely
so that
keeping
was your
it
wife's
together.
voice that woke me up a few minutes ago, right?
My wife? No, that's impossible. My wife has been with me in the other room the whole time. We haven't come out of there for
Dun
hours.
dun dun dun.
But I'm glad you're feeling better and are fully conscious now. I guess we could say you've been reborn. And although the circumstances aren't the best, simply being alive nowadays is practically a luxury. So, welcome to our home.
Okay, so we have to get all the disposition, I think.
From what you've told me, I see that you've saved my life. I'm very grateful, Mr. Atkinson.
No, please. You don't have to thank us. We just did what we had to. It's our moral obligation to uphold the ethical principles of civilization in this new world. But call me Rod, please. And, well, we also did it for Colin, you see. What kind of future does he face if we accept that it's every man for himself, that no one cares about anyone else? It's a terrifying prospect, don't you think? We're just doing whatever we can to avoid that future, that's all.
So they are human. Oh, that's good to know. And where am I? What is this
Where
place?
am I? What is this place?
You are in what I venture to call our home. Our humble, hopefully temporary home. This is one of the many trailers that make up the refugee camp. And believe me, we can consider ourselves lucky to live between these four walls. Most of the inhabitants of this hellhole, excuse my crude language, have nothing more than plastic tarps and cardboard for shelter.
Wait a second. Did you say refugee camp?
Yes, of course. The Facility for Temporary Accommodation of Disaster Victims is what they called it. You know, after the army declared martial law following the catastrophe. But do you really not remember? Do you really not remember anything about all this?
I feel a little weak and dizzy, Mr. Atkinson. Excuse me. I'm afraid I can't. I can't remember a thing.
I see. There have been many cases like yours in the camp. Try to rest and not to get too agitated.
Refugee
Well, there's one
camp,
thing I
it
can
seems a
tell
little
you.
bit
You
too
can
close
consider
to
yourself
home.
Fortunate.
with
There's
everything
nothing
that
nice to
goes on in
remember
the world
about recent
today.
times,
So-
believe me.
Okay.
Rod! Rod!
Please excuse me, but I have to leave you now.
No, wait, please. What's happening? Don't go yet.
I'm sorry, I understand that you have a lot of questions to ask me, but now isn't the time. Believe me, I promise to answer each and every one of your questions in peace and quiet later. Sorry, but I have to go.
Okay.
Rod, please, quickly!
Either somebody is
all right.
Now that you're feeling better, you can go
extending
out
their
and take a walk
family,
around
or
camp, but
perhaps
please
somebody
be very
got
careful out
shot,
there.
or
The world you
something
knew
bad
before
happened in the other
is
room.
gone. Heed my warning.
I
Don't
think
touch
we will
anything. Don't
find
talk
that
to
out
anyone.
later.
And don't get mixed up in anything. At least until someone explains to you how things work in this new world the Great Wave left us. Everything has changed so much out there.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for the advice.
Ah, one more thing before I go. You've been with us for quite a while now, and we don't even know what to call you. What is your name?
My name? Michael. My name is Michael.
Very pleased to meet you, Michael. We'll talk again later, I promise.
Okay, so
Michael. That's what that disembodied voice called me. That must be my name. Wake up, Michael. That's all she said. Leaving me in this immense void where I can't remember anything. Great wave? New world? Refugee camp? But what the devil could have happened out there? I think it might be a good idea to go out there and take a look.
really like the art style and the way it tells a story. And the story is quite intriguing too. See here, wardrobe, lamp, oven. Okay, so we have been sleeping in the kitchen, I guess. Family photos. Nothing.
It's an unframed snapshot, stuck directly on the wall of the room.
Ah.
2 adults and a child, smiling at the camera in what looks like an enormous yard. One of them is Rod, my host.
Okay, so you had to use the secondary mouse button to look. And I guess you used the first 2 hand things. So, as I understand the pointer down there, you point at something and the large square is what you is the left mouse button, and the small look is the right mouse button. So if I look here,
This scrap of fabric has traces of blood, sweat, and other fluids I can't even identify. If this sheet was ever white, it must have been a long time ago. A very long time ago.
and I could rumple the sheets with the left mouse button.
Well, look at that. When I pulled back the sheet, part of it got torn on the spring sticking out of the bed frame. I hope Rod doesn't notice.
A really good interface. I think that's really nice. So here,
The bed frame under the mattress is so battered that one of the springs is turned into a very sharp protruding object.
okay. So what did it actually give us? Nothing? I think I see something. Okay, perhaps not. See here.
The old closet Rod told me about. It's funny. With the glass in the door shattered, my reflection in the mirror is fragmented, like a photo ripped into little pieces and taped back together. Impossible. It's locked. I'm afraid my host forgot to unlock it before he left.
Or he didn't want you to use or look in there. Maybe he has some skeletons in the closet.
A pile of frying pans, plates, and dirty silverware waiting to be washed. Ugh, this place smells like a cheap, greasy spoon.
Yeah, but what do you expect? People have better things to do than to clean.
With the glass in the door broken and that thick
Survive,
grease
perhaps.
I doubt anything's been baked in this oven for a long time.
Let's see if it's something in there. Oh, look.
There's a very worn old notebook hidden under the lid. The cover is practically falling off the spiral binding. It looks like someone stashed it here some time ago and then forgot about it.
Okay.
It's a bit dented. It was used to cover a very large roasting pan. In fact, it still has some traces of food stuck to it. It's an old accounting ledger that still has a few blank pages left in it. From what's written in here, it looks like someone was using it as a diary before ripping out almost all its pages and leaving it inside the oven in the trailer.
Okay, so he's talking to his grandparents again. To my dead parents. And absence are getting longer and more terrifying. His mother is suffering too much. We agreed to put the gun inside the cookie box with 2 bullets in the chamber. God forgive us, but when he's gone, there won't be any future for us. The rumble is coming from that, gosh, in the sky, still terrifies Colin. Or gash in the sky, perhaps. The exalted one has decided to tear open the sky and his ugly... and is urging his angels to push us through the wound. That was Reverend Blake said. He's a holy man. My staff, my colleagues, my superiors, does anyone out there remember Rod Atkinson? Still, that name seems really familiar. But we have to be strong. For the boy, we can't let the great waves strip us of who we are. If you like this gameplay, please give it a like. Till next time.